All right, salvete parentem. Okay, this is for the parents that weren't able to make it to open house. So, I wanted to introduce myself. I'm Lisa Walls. I'm your student's Latin teacher, well, your kid's Latin teacher. And just here's kind of what you missed. So, my name is Mrs. Walls, but your kids call me Magistra. So, it just means teacher in Latin. I got my bachelor's from Monmouth College in Monmouth, Illinois. My major was in classics and history with a minor in Latin. I also have a master's from Aurora University in educational leadership and educational technology. So hopefully when you're at home, you see your kids using their Chromebooks all the time for Latin because we are doing a ton of stuff with them in the class. That's my husband and my cats in case you wanted to see them and know a little bit more. Why I teach Latin, I like to share this because I think it's important for you guys to know where I'm coming from. I love the language and its intricacy. You're going to find out as you're watching your kids do things that there are all the little pieces are like one big puzzle, and it's a great way to really become great critical thinkers and to pay close attention to detail. I feel that learning the language teaches lifelong skills as well. When they come across different problems, they're going to start thinking about it the way they've thought about like diagramming sentences in Latin class. Not let's panic from having a problem, but what do we do about the problem? Also, I like helping students achieve their goals and broaden their minds. You're going to see that there's going to be days where they're going to go home and they're going to feel frustrated because they don't quite understand what's going on, and it might just be because we haven't gotten to the particular grammar concept that really makes it all set for them. So when they do find that piece, they go off in these great aha moments that are like popcorn in the room, and I love that moment when everything comes together for them, and I want them all to achieve that. For those of you that are concerned about ACT scores, SAT scores, and things like that, because Latin's inflected and we have to take a look at all the endings and things like that and all the bases and roots and prefixes, suffixes, it's really great for all of that as well. My contact information, you can get a hold of me probably the easiest at my email, mainly because I'm not at my desk very often, so I don't see that I have a message until it's probably been there for, almost 24 hours sometimes. Or you can follow me on Twitter if you're a tweeter. And that's my phone extension. If you call my phone extension, don't panic. It will say Lisa Adams, and that's just because I haven't been able to figure out how to change the message. So that is me, and you can leave me a message there. But again, email is the easiest way. I always have my computer or my phone with me so I can check those. So the syllabus is probably the big thing that you need to see and know about. Okay, there it goes. So there's the course description. You, of course, can find the syllabus posted on PowerSchool. Also on PowerSchool, as detailed below, I'm also going to be in the same spot the syllabus is, posting what we're doing each week through a cursus, which is basically just going to outline all the activities. I give it to the kids because it has all my links, and I'm going to make that available to you as well so that you can see what we are doing. And since, well, you'll understand here a bit more in a minute. Basically, special dates to know about are December 15th. They are going to have a project that's a semester-long project that they just got today. So hopefully they're at home talking to you about it. And we'll go through that as well in a few minutes. The grading system, we are only doing summative assessments. All of the work that we do in class is considered formative, and then their quizzes and tests and this project, as well as their midterm and final, are considered the summative assessments. The reason for just doing the summative assessments as grade impacting is because my goal is really to see what do they know when we are done covering a concept. We are going through a language, and as they go through a language, they need to feel free to make mistakes and not worried that their grade's going to fall apart because they made a mistake on an assignment. So for that reason, we are going full summative assessment, and you'll see that going in the grade book. I still will be keeping track of their formative assessments. They'll be posted in the grade book, but they won't have a value to them, so they won't have any weight towards the overall grade, but I will be posting them there. I apologize, I'm a little behind right now, but I will get those in sometime this weekend so you can kind of see better what it looks like. The other big thing for you to know about is that there is extra help available before and after school from me, or during Bulldog Power Hour. They can come see me, or we're going to have NJCL tutors that are also National Latin Honor Society members available during Bulldog Hour if they'd rather meet with a student instead of me. We also will have those NLHS tutors available during late start in the LRC. So there's always somebody who can help. And if they need help, or if you need help, you just have to let me know, and I will get whoever we need to get to you. All right. Remediation for this class. Students are encouraged to retake any assessments, especially since all the assessments that are going in are summative. So those are the ones they would want to reassess. They have 2 weeks from the day that it is returned to them, because sometimes, life gets busy, and I try to get their assignments, their quizzes back to them the next day. Unfortunately, that doesn't always happen. So 2 weeks from the day I return it, and we go over it in class. Sorry, not 2 days, 2 weeks. And basically what they'll do is, if they haven't done the assignments before, during that week, before that assessment, I'll have them start there, doing all of those assignments. After that, I have a list of additional activities to help them really get a grasp on whatever concept they were missing. Then we conference together, and we'll talk about, are they really ready? And if I feel they're ready, I will give them a complete new version of the test, because the idea here is that since it's supposed to reflect what they really know at that moment, I need to give them a full new reassessment. So it's a brand new test, no sections and things like that. It's so I really see what do they know, because I don't want the kids to just focus on one area so much that they forget everything else. So that's why it's a full new assessment. And if you have any concerns, you can please feel free to talk to me about that. The only items that cannot be reassessed are the midterm, final, and the project, mainly because those are really massive items, and they are meant to be summative assessments that do not get taken over and over again, because they're so big that to remediate these items would take a whole nother semester. So these are really the cumulative points. So those cannot be remediated, but just about everything else can be. Alright, so that project I was telling you a bit about. They just found out about it today, and hopefully they're feeling excited. Basically what they're doing is they are taking an item from the past, and they are going to tell me about it in the past, in the present, and what it might be like in the future. The point of this project is to give them an opportunity to connect history to the present, and then to dream big with the future. So they have a whole list of questions that they will be going through. Right now we have a very loose timeline, mainly because I'm not sure what topics the kids are going to decide to talk about, and I want to see what they choose so that I can put together a very reasonable timeline for them, and I will be emailing that out to you guys as well, and most likely posting it on PowerSchool as well, so you have access to it, so you can see where our deadlines are. Unfortunately, that really won't get put together until after I see what they choose, and they're going to be choosing on September 5th. Alright, so they're going to be doing a little research, and then basically they're going to create a poster that basically shows us the path of this item that they choose to talk about, and it can be anything from, roads to Roman sandals to bridges, really whatever gets them excited. And then they're going to make a video basically where they're explaining all of this. They don't have to be in the video if they don't want, so if you're concerned about your kid having a video on YouTube, don't worry. We have other ways around this so that we can keep everything private, so that you don't have to worry about that. And then they're going to be creating a future item, and I'm giving them the option, whatever they can think of as a way to present it, as long as it can be interacted with, so like through a video, or if they wanted to create a diorama or something like that. That's what I need from them, and I'm really giving them the opportunity to explore this and enjoy it. The rubric is they will be graded on the overall appearance of their poster. It just needs to look tidy and put together like it was intentional. It needs to contain all information. However, I know that some of the questions might not fit on the poster quite right, so they are allowed to type that up and print that out because that's a big chunk is all that information. And then the QR code on the poster, basically so that when we do this poster presentation at the end, the kids can walk around and see everybody's posters and just click on the video and then they can watch them. Video quality is important. I do have cameras available if they need them. They can borrow them from the LRC. They can use their phones and Chromebooks. The only thing is if they use their phones, please remind them to take it in a landscape version so that we don't get the crazy black bars all over the place. And it needs to contain all their information and it needs to be linkable. And then their interactive version is another 45 points. The overall score is 185 points. They were meant to get this sooner. The reason that they didn't is just because I was working out the point value, because this is about the equivalent of 3 quizzes or 1.5 unit tests. So I wanted to make sure that it was getting the proper weight that it deserves because they will be putting quite a bit of work into this, and hopefully they have a lot of fun with this. All right, so that's basically all of the information that I had a chance to share at Open House. There's some additional things on the rest of the email, so please feel free to take a look. And if you have any questions, please feel free to email me. I'm more than happy to respond to anything that you want to know. All right, thank you so much, and I hope you all have a wonderful weekend. Bye-bye.